Here we are at Bucks Island, tackle shop tour coming at you right here on Neely Henry in Alabama. Southside, Alabama is the actual name of this town, but this giant building behind me has got a sweet little tackle shop inside. Come with me. Here we are inside of Bucks Island, and they call this tackle shop the Loft because it's up here on a loft. Come on in. You gotta check this place out. Check it out, man. This place is loaded with tackle. You gotta have in this part of the country, up here in the Coosa River. You gotta have your crappie fishing stuff. You got your Strike King, Mr. Crappie. You got your Bobby Garland. I mean, you got everything you need to make yourself a good dinner. But the rest of this is all bass stuff, and we got the heat. You got to have your rattle traps and all your lipless baits. You got your, LV 500s. You got your one knockers. And then you go through. Look over here. You got your Shaker Z's. All your profound stuff. And then you go into a few bombers. Got to have your Strike King XDs for your deep divers. Got to have those in this part of the country. I mean, we're not too far from Gunnersville and a bunch of other lakes as well. So you have to be stocked for those. And then you got a heck of a Spro selection. You got your rock crawlers, which you got to have, great in the early spring. And they got everything from your Super DDs all the way down to the Little Johns spring crawl. It's a good one. And then you got to have your DTs, DT6s, and they got the profound crankbaits. Like I said, I mean, these are all the hottest, latest crankbaits in here. Got your KVD square bills, got your ish biggie square bills, and things catch a bunch of fish. Got some Bill Lewis, got the MR6. That's a hot crankbait. And then you look over here, you got the Cliff Pace Black Label balsa. And then things are hard to find. They got a heck of a selection of them in here. And then you also got your Phil Hunt crankbaits. I mean, look at these dudes. The little wooden balsa baits. You got a heck of a selection of those. Those are also hard to find. And you got to have your 110s. Got some Edo shiners, some other stuff. I mean, just the high end good tackle here. You got your Lucky Craft. Got some Lucky Craft jerk baits. Stutter Step. That's a pretty hot topwater bait. Whopper ploppers. Got to have your whopper ploppers good. Anytime the water is warm, you never know when those things are going to come out. Got to have your Zara Spooks and your Rovers. I mean, that's just one heck of a hard bait selection. Then you get into the soft baits over here. We're in Alabama. You got to have your net baits and your pocket craws. Those are a staple. And you picked up some missile here. It's a craw fathers right there. You got some rage tail stuff. You got your beavers. Got a good selection of beavers. They got a bunch of good cool colors. And they got pretty much all of them here. You got Wheeler's little hammer craw. Don't see that a whole lot in tackle shops. And then we get more missile over here. You got your D-bombs, destroyers, baby destroyers. That's the smoke on a Carolina rig, just to let you know. And then also in Alabama, you better have you some big bite. They got the Fighting Frogs and the Yo Mamas. Got the essential big bite baits to have in the shop. You got your biffle bugs. Gonna be out there bugging on the Tennessee River. So that biffle head and drag it around. Your biffle bugs over here. Got a few more big bite baits. Got your Senkos. Got to have your supply of Senkos. Got just the essential colors. Got your pocket rockets. Good little bait to wacky rig from Reaction. Some more big bite baits. Got to have the methiolate. Got to have that certain times of year. You got the flirt worm. You don't see the flirt worm in a lot of tackle shops anymore. But they got a good selection of colors. That's a good little Texas rig shaky head bait. And then you got your big worms over here. You got your T-Mac. That is a really good bait on like a big shaky head. And then you got your big Jean LaRue worms. Missile Baits 48, bomb shot. That thing is red hot. in a bunch of places. So for the spotted bass around this area, those things are going to do work on them. Then you got some dream shots. You got a few other, you know, shaky worms. You got your Z-Man. Check this out. You got your Z-Man selection. Everything from the power. At the power side, got some of the finesse ones. The bigger TRDs mostly over here. But man, just oh, I mean, I'm telling you, this is all the good stuff right here. Here's your buzzbait selection over here. You got your Swampers buzzbait. You got the extra long trailer hook on it. You got your Dirty Jigs buzzbait. It's got the little frog in there. You put it right on there. That's that thing's been pretty hot on tour last year or so. You got your Suicide Shad on the big bait ones. That thing's been that thing will get choked, I promise you. But again, I mean, it's just all the good stuff. You got all your bling spinner baits from river to sea. They got a bunch of good blade combinations. That bluegill looks pretty strong. Get your Booyah spinner baits, that's a standard. And in this part of the country, you better have a selection of Davis spinner baits. William Davis is just right down the road. He makes all these in his facility. Really a good spinner bait. Has all kind of different actions, and you know, from deep to shallow. Got great selection of jackhammers. These are hard to find as well. A lot of places are just totally wiped out. We got some here. Got the flip out and the mini flip here. Whatever you need, and they got the little micro jig. Got the little micro jig. I'm telling you, that thing is a hammer. Those things have been red hot lately. And you got Bose Jigs. It's a local jig company. Good looking skirts, real full, but that's a local Alabama company. Got the Hack Attack. Got the Junkyard jig down there. Then you got a good selection of dirty jigs. I mean, everything from their swim jigs to your flip jigs. Some football jigs down at the bottom. You know, Dirty Jigs is one of the hottest jig companies out there, and they have got a great selection here at Bucks Island. Then you got the Rage Tail trailers and Miniscrub. That thing is red hot. A bunch of different trailers for your jigs, and then you get into the swim baits. Of course, you got to have the Shockwaves. That is a bad to the bone little swim bait. Got your skinny dippers and little dippers. Got a few perfect plastics, and then you kind of filling out with various other swim baits, including the Strike King and the BB Kicker and the Spark Shad. That thing's been red hot lately, especially with Zaldane doing work over there at Lake Lanier. Those things, and then you gotta have some frogs. You got the Spro frogs. You got your river to sea frogs. You got your Rish's fat frog down there. Man, I mean, just the heat on the tackle. We'll keep going on the tackle. We'll come back to the rods and reels in a second. But then you turn around and you gotta have your zoom wall. Every tackle shop in the country better have your zoom wall. Got everything from your brush hogs, lizards, your standards, mag shakies, finesse worms, trick worms, mag trick worms. Got your jig trailers and your flukes, and then you got some Z hogs. You gotta have some zoom in these areas. But we'll spin around here and check out got some accessories. Various accessories kind of placed around, but here's the line, and this is how you know it's a good tackle shop. This is all really good line. You got Seagar, Tattoo, Daiwa, Suffix, P-Line, Berkeley. I mean, just all kind of. And then you got the this is probably my favorite little braid cutter. It's called the Pitbull cutter. They got a bunch of these around here. Just look for that yellow and blue handle. These things are money, boy, money. Then you got Ish's flip hook. Here, that's Peter T hook. I know he's got Ish's hook around here somewhere. But then you got the Shaky Heads. Again, William Davis. He actually owns the trademark for the term Shaky Head. That tells you how long he's been making Shaky Heads. We have William Davis original Shaky Heads right there. Got some of his swim bait hooks. Got some Trokar hooks and Gamakatsu. You got a good selection of the G-Finesse, Gamakatsu, Aaron Martin's treble hooks. Those things are absolutely money. They are slick. But then we got rods and reels over here. Here's the rod selection. They don't have a ton. They just have what you need. Over here you got some Lew's. A good selection, different models within the Lew's lineup. Then you got some Cashin rods, a couple John Cruz models, and you got Daiwa. Not much else that you need. And on the reel side, they've got a good selection of Lew's reels And they've got also a good selection of Daiwa reels. Daiwa reels are really hard to find, believe it or not, this last year or so, because everything they keep coming out with is hot as a firecracker. But they've got a good selection of Daiwa reels. And then as you go on up here to the front, they got a good selection of different sunglasses. They got the Amphibia, a bunch of those, a few various lower end models there. Got some Costas over there on that side, and then you got some of your accessories here. You got bulk tungsten. Save a few bucks on the bulk tungsten. And they got a bunch of different rapid fishing products. They got a bunch of little cool products like this right here. It goes on to hold your trailer hook onto your spinnerbait or buzzbait. The rapid fishing solution's got all kind of neat stuff, and they've got various parts of those right there. Got your maps over there. I mean, it's not a huge tackle shop up here in the loft, but man, they have got the good stuff. Come up in here. I promise you, you will leave with less money, but you'll have some really, really cool tackle.